If you can't tell, my shelves are no longer blank and white and boring. Hey guys, it's me! I thought it's sunny outside, it turned summer a couple days ago. I'm just gonna do a summer book reads recommendation. My first recommendation is anything by Sarah Dessen. These two just happen to be my favorite. They have that fun, carefree feeling to them. So starting off with The Truth About Forever, there is Macy, and she and her mother are kind of dealing with the loss of her father. She's just at a place in her life where she just doesn't know what to do. So she ends up getting a job with this catering group, and she meets Wes. And Wes is super artistic. He has this energy about him that is so compelling, even though he has this kind of sad, darker past. And because of Wes, Macy starts breaking out of her shell and getting out of the little box that has been surrounding her ever since her father's death. Those words took forever to form. So this book is cutesy, it has romance, and some self-realization. It's just overall one of those flowery books that isn't too girly. I just realized that I said a flowery book and there's a flower on the cover. So the other one I had is Along for the Ride. It starts off with Auden. Her parents are divorced and she is spending the summer before going to college with her father, who has a new family, has a wife and a kid coming on the way, and she's basically trying to figure out how she fits in with this new family that she's not really a part of. And then along the way, Auden meets Eli. He has a little bit of a tragic past that he would rather forget. It ends up being a story with these two connecting and helping each other come to terms with themselves and the positions that they are put in their lives. It's simple enough where you don't have to think too much about what's going on. So again, anything by Sarah Dessen, not just these two, but anything else. I also want to say that Morgan Matson is another good summer book read, but I do not own any of her books, so I can't show you covers. There's Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. Second Chance Summer is good. Another contemporary that I think is really fun for summer is Paper Towns by John Green. But basically this book is about a guy named Quentin who has, ever since he's been younger, been in love with a girl named Margot Roth Spiegelman. They spend a whole entire night together just taking revenge out on people that have done them wrong, going to visit some cool places and sneaking into other places. Then the day after, Margot is gone. No one knows where she's left to, no one knows what happened. Quentin starts trying to piece together this puzzle that Margot has left behind. And at the same time that he's trying to find Margot, he's dealing with being a senior in high school and having some last moments with his best friends. I would mainly recommend this book because of the adventure and because of the friendships in this book. But this has quite a bit more depth to it than Sarah Dessen's books. It's John Green. You're gonna have some tragic stuff happening. You're gonna have some heartbreak. You're gonna have some philosophical thoughts that just constantly make you question life and how you're living it. I recommend Wings by Aprilyn Pike. So this girl named Laurel has just had a pretty average life, I guess you could say. One morning she wakes up and there's this thing on her back. And then over time, it starts blossoming into these wing-like things. So she and this guy that she has some classes with do some research to try and figure out what the heck is happening to her. And it's just a really fun story. It's nothing that you have to overthink. It's very cheesy because of the fairies and all the stuff that happens. It's something that you can just sit down, relax, and not have to worry about overthinking things. Another really good action book to read in the summer is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This book basically has it all. The sarcastic narrator, a summer camp, Greek gods and goddesses, these demigods that have awesome powers, and then a fun adventure quest that is not super dark or scary, but is perfect amount of fun and silly goofiness. If you have not read this book or any of the rest of the series, summer is the perfect time to do this. Next book on the list is Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. I basically would recommend this book for the same reason that I recommend Percy Jackson. It's just a fun, simple book to read, but it does have action. So this book follows a girl named Gwen, and she comes from a long line of time travelers. And the whole family expects that Gwen's cousin is going to get this gene. So Charlotte has been taught, ever since she was very, very young, what to do when the time traveling gene bursts into being. But nope, the gene ends up being passed on to Gwen. So Gwen has to learn all of this new stuff and basically is sent back to random time periods, and it's just a really fun, goofy book to me. Even with the time traveling aspect, you don't need to really think about things. The next one I would recommend is Divergent by Veronica Roth. There's just some really good action bits in here. There are different factions that people can be separated into. These factions are based off of different personality traits, like you have erudite, intelligent, thinking people. And Triss ends up choosing a faction that no one really expects from her. She has to figure out how she fits into this world, and she kind of doesn't fit into anything at all. And I just think it's so fun because of the action in it. So these last 3 books, they are kind of in a series. So if you watch SNL, you might remember some of these, but it's just Deep Thoughts, Deeper Thoughts, and Deepest Thoughts by Jack Handey. It's just a whole bunch of really stupid stuff that is insanely funny.
If you're a young mafia gangster out on your first date, I bet it's really embarrassing if someone tries to kill you.
So those are all my book recommendations for the summer months. Those ones I think are perfect for just chilling and relaxing and not having to think too much about understanding a whole dark world and having to wrap your mind around huge concepts. That's gonna be it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below if you think I'm entertaining. If you have any other book recommendations for summery times, leave them down in the comments because I would love to get some new book recommendations to read. Other than that, I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. So I'll see you guys later. Whee! Little T-Rex arms.